Namaste everyone. Welcome to Learn with me. So today in our class we will learn about the change of voice in present indefinite tense. All of us we know that in every tense we have four types of sentences like affirmative, negative, interrogative affirmative and interrogative negative. So today in our class we will learn about the change of voice in present indefinite tense in affirmative sentence. So before going deep into that, I would like to mention one thing, and we all must remember it pretty clearly, that in present indefinite tense the voices with verbs like have and with verbs like be cannot be changed. So these be verbs and the have verbs, both these verbs cannot be changed. Like if I give an example with have verb, like I have a pen. This kind of sentences with have verb cannot be changed. This cannot be changed. Again with be verb, if I give an example like I am a student, this is also with be verb, this also cannot be changed. So before knowing, before going deep, before going into the details of change of voice with present indefinite tense affirmative, we must remember one thing pretty clearly, that in case of present indefinite tense we cannot change the active voice into passive with sentences having verbs like have verb and be verb. Hope this one is clear, and we have to keep this thing in mind first of all. Now let us move how to change the affirmative sentences in present indefinite tense. Affirmative sentences, like if we try to give an example like I play cricket. So this one is an affirmative sentence. How to change these sentences? This is in active form, all of us we know. We have already discussed what is active voice, what is passive voice, what are the general rules of voice change. That is already been discussed. So I play cricket, that one is in active form. Now we need to know how to change this one into passive. Before changing it, we must know the structure of this particular sentence, because once we know about the structure of the sentence both in active as well as in passive, the things would be pretty clear to us and we can very easily change the active into passive. So what is the structure of this sentence? Like I, that means this is the subject. Play, this is the verb, and cricket, this is the object. Now in some sentences other parts are there. If I try to rewrite this sentence like I play cricket every day, I play cricket every day. Now this one I have added. So this every day we can term it as others. So this is basically the structure of any sentence in present indefinite tense affirmative sense. So subject plus verb plus object plus others. This one is the active structure. Now we need to turn it into passive structure. All of us we know what are the rules, that this subject would be kept as object in passive and this object would be placed as the subject in passive. So let us try to write the structure of passive. So this object would come in place of the subject. So we must write object first. Then, as it is present indefinite tense affirmative, we have to use be verbs. What are the be verbs? All of us we know: am, is, are. Then what we have to use? We have to use the third form of this verb. The third form of this verb. So we can write it as third verb. Then what we have to use? We have seen in the general rules that before object in passive voice, we have to generally use a by. So we are going to use this by after the third verb and before the object. So object means I have written subject here because this subject would come to this place. This is the place of the object. For our better standing, I have written subject because this subject we are going to put it here. So this is actually the structure of the present indefinite tense affirmative, both active and passive. Now in case of changing, what we have to do? We have to just put the sentences in these structures. Once we would be able to put the sentences in these structures, things would be pretty clear. Let us try with this sentence first. So we have a sentence with us that is in present indefinite tense and in affirmative sense. So let us try to change this active into passive. This one is active. Let us try to change it in passive. So while changing the active into passive, we have seen the structure. First we have to use the object of the active in place of subject of the passive. So what is the object here? Cricket. So we are going to use cricket first. Next we have seen we have to use the be verbs. Am, is, are. Now it depends on the subject what kind of be verbs we can use. So cricket is third person singular number. So third person singular number in present indefinite tense, if we try to use the be verb, it is. So cricket is. Now third form of the verb, our verb is play. So play, played, played. So cricket is played. After that we have to use by generally in most of the cases. After that what we have to use? We have to use the subject of the active voice by me. Now you can ask a very simple question that in active it was I, in passive it is turning to me. Why? Already we have discussed the change of pronoun. Already I had given you the pronoun table that what are the pronouns, how can they change from active into the passive. So that is why following that rule, I, this pronoun would be changed to me. Now next what is remaining? The others. We have everyday here as others. So we are going to use this everyday. So this is, this is a kind of fun. This is pretty easy. Just what we have to do, we have to remember the structure of the active as well as the structure of the passive. Once we remember both the structures, changing voice will be a matter of fun. It will not be, a matter of great difficulty. So let us try with another sentence now. We are going to write one active sentence in affirmative sense, and we are going to change this, and we are going to see how this change can take place. So I am going to write, for example, very simple sentence I am taking. I eat rice at dinner. This one is active. So now we are going to change into passive, which is pretty easy. So I have to first use the object of the active voice in place of the subject of passive voice. So this one is object. So rise. Again be verb. Be verb. It is third person singular number. So generally the be verb is here. Third form of the verb eat, ate, eaten. So it is eaten. Then by. Then the subject of the active voice, me. Like the rule we have seen, it changes to me. Then the others that we have, at dinner. So this is the way we can change the active voice into passive in case of present indefinite tense affirmative. Hopefully this is understood. It's not that tough, by the way. I would rather say it's pretty easy. And if you can remember the structure, just like some mathematical formulas, it would be a fun to change the mode of voice. So thank you all. Hopefully it is understood. Thanks for once again.